Hello and welcome to the Midweek Catch-Up Tomcast. I'm Tom, president and dictator for life of 515comics.com. First things first, earlier today, my friend and sometimes doppelganger, Aaron Walther, posted a podcast that we did together. We recorded it a week or so ago. And yeah, he posted it today. He said some very lovely things about my comic. I'm glad that he didn't hate reading it. I'll put a link down below to that, and I'll also put a link down below to a review he mentions that I did of one of his books, Zero's Heroes. And also I'll put a link down to his webcomic stuff that you can read. It's always super cool to talk with other creators, and it's really fun to be interviewed. I love talking about myself. I don't know if you guys knew that on account of how I talk about myself on a weekly basis here. His podcast, he reviews things and he discusses comics and the like with sometimes just himself and sometimes with guests. But I guess this is going to be maybe a new segment that he does where he's just sort of shooting the breeze with a fellow creator. So I was happy to help him set off on that. Update on the Kickstarter comic project. So I'm doing a 3-page digital comic for everybody who backed for the Kickstarter. It's already late, so I'm sorry about that. But yeah, I mentioned a few weeks ago that Maddie, Trey, Dexter, and I were all going to watch Big Trouble in Little China and come up with a script for a 3-page mini-comic. And writing a 3-page comic is really hard, you guys, especially if you're theming it after, you know, an hour-and-a-half long movie. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. I think that we've got a very good script. I'm really, really excited to get it all drawn, but it's definitely going to be, I mean, these are going to be pretty deluxe pages. Now, it's digital, it's still going to be 3 pages, but they're probably going to be like double long pages. I think we worked it out where I'm going to have to do 27 panels, which would average out to about 9 panels per page, which is way more than I usually do, so it's probably, again, going to be very tall pages. I mean, I guess I could have just made it more than 3 pages, but I said 3 pages, I'm going to do 3 pages, dang it. Anyhow, I've done 8 panels so far as drawing them goes. I think inking them will go pretty fast, and then Maddie has agreed to color them, which is awesome. So then I'll just have to add in the text and, you know, lay it all out. But yeah, I don't know when the heck that's going to happen. So that's something that I wanted to talk about. I've been thinking about it a little bit of how am I going to actually make time to do this comic. It's definitely, well, and as we've discussed before, you can't make time. You just have to dedicate time that already exists. And that's the problem, is that it's summer now and I want to be out and about and doing fun stuff, but I've got this responsibility, and I've also got the responsibility of doing my regular pages for the comic. I think what I'd like to do is for the rest of June, so that I can really focus and try and get these pages done, I think I'm going to do some filler updates on Saturdays for the comic. So we'll still have new Nextuus pages every Tuesday and Thursday of the rest of the month, but yeah, that would give me a couple. How many would that give? That'd essentially give me 2 Saturdays, maybe the first Saturday in July as well. We'll see how close I can get to being done. But yeah, so I think I am going to give myself a little bit of a break on doing the regular comic pages in order to actually have time to dedicate to getting the digital pages for the Kickstarter backers done without, you know, stretching into several months late on getting that to backers. I guarantee that it will be worth the wait. It's quite silly. I am really excited about it. Last thing I want to talk about this weekend is my birthday. So even if I wasn't going to be doing filler art for this other reason, I'm probably going to be doing filler art this Saturday because it's going to be the day after my birthday. And that's not a very good excuse, but I'm going to take it anyway. I feel like this year I've been doing a lot more filler comics than I have in the past. I've kind of front-loaded the year with a lot of stuff. You know, I was finishing up Volume 4, and I had a lot of conventions kind of all at the same time, and there were a lot of things to do for the Kickstarter. I have had to do a lot of filler pages, which I'm not a big fan of. I don't like letting myself do that. And I don't even like saying like, oh, let's do this temporarily so that I can like get on top of this other project. Like, I would rather put other things on hold. It's just I'm finding it difficult to find other things to put on hold. I don't want it to sound like I'm just asking for excuses or I'm asking for forgiveness for doing all of these fillers, but I think I'd like to do something to make it up later on in the year. And I may have mentioned this in a previous Tomcast that Maddie gave me the idea of doing some update-heavy weeks later on in the year when I've got the time, so that I can still get more of the story out. That's the thing, is like, life happens, and this is a webcomic that I'm doing for free, so, like, it's a thing that can take a back seat sometimes, but I'm still very passionate about telling my story, so I don't want to miss out on opportunities to continue telling the story. So I'm gonna make it up to you guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening to me talk about a couple things. We're back on track with the Tomcasts. I don't know if I'll get one out this weekend or if it'll be early next week, but I will talk to you guys soon. Keep your stick on the ice.